Who is it?
It's the plumber.
Plumber? I didn't call a plumber.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lolocaust in your look holes. This is episode 5, and since I found that copy of 50 Shades of Grey on the bus and read it, I've turned into a sexual predator. So why not have a sexy show? Yes, I'm dressed as He-Man. I've got the full-on furry pants and the thing across his chest with a little cross thing on and a sword throbbing in my hand, and I'm pointing it at Grayskull. Dalek over there is dressed as Papa Smurf, slowly rubbing his little blue boobs in a semicircular motion. Ham Hock's up on the roof, probably just rubbing himself over the sight of a dead crow. So yes, welcome. It's the 11th of July 2012. Let's just kill that. Porn music. Don't you just love it? It's the 11th of July 2012, and we're feeling particularly fruity this evening. So it's still time. If you've been following us on Twitter, we've now got our own kind of show-based Twitter account. Look how professional we sound. At we are, as a letter R, the Lolocaust. I apologise for having to use the letter R instead of the word R. That's Twitter's fault for restricting proper grammatical correctness in usernames. But that's where we are. We are the Lolocaust. You can find it through my Twitter account, which is Bouncy Ball, or Dalek's, which is the Voice of Sex, or Ham Hock's, which is Dr. Ham Hock. So if you want to get involved in the show tonight, you can come in on the chat, come and say hello, come and wave. We've got a couple of people in there already. Ham Hock's talking from up on the roof, and Steve from the Mature Gamer podcast is already putting some false swear words in there, and we've also got Tadpole from the Money Movie Show. I'm guessing it's Tadpole. He's got under his guise of his own. If you want to get involved, get in on the chat, get in on the Twitter. What we're asking tonight is sexy video game characters. Now, I don't want anybody to say Lara Croft. I don't want anybody to say, I don't know, where's Wally? What we want is obscure ones. I'll start you off. If there's one person when I was growing up, I thought, it was Shiva from Mortal Kombat 3. She might have had a mane of hair down her back, but she had 4 arms and scantily clad clothing. No, not scantily clad clothing. She was scantily clad, or she had very little clothing. So yeah, imagine that. 4 hands. 4 hands. I mean, the two-handed hand job is one of the best. It's like a threesome without all the guilt and the shame. Just one woman. One hairy-backed kind of alternate dimension monster woman. Who loves you? And who do you love? That's my running gag there. I'm going to be doing that quite a lot. So, I'm going to start off the show. I've got Dalek here. He's still rubbing himself. He's happy and Hock's up on the roof. I'm going to talk yourself through a little monologue style thing that I've prepared for you, talking about the time I did my jig cow at school. Now, younger listeners and maybe some older listeners won't know what jig cow is. But jig cow, well, it was essentially a computer program that asked you questions and then worked out what your ideal job would be. The questions would be things like, do you like maths? Do you like reading? Do you like slowly bouncing up and down on overinflated farm animals? Do you like driving cars? Do you like pushing old women downstairs, etc., etc.? And at the end of it, it would give you not one job. It wouldn't find you your perfect job. It would give you 10 potential jobs. I got on mine funeral director, accountant, air traffic controller, bank manager, farm labourer. I mean, I'm not picking holes in the system. I think there's a big difference between a farm labourer and a bank manager. One's constantly spreading shit for money. The other one's a farm labourer. So that's the true bit. Now here comes the Lolocaust magic. Hang on, if I just click my fingers, this is where it's going to go fictional. There, right. Now, when I got my result, the number one job was county-appointed grot smuggler. Yeah, that's it. County-appointed grot smuggler. Now, you might be asking, what is a county-appointed grot smuggler? Or as we were called, CAGs. Basically, our job in the late 80s, early 90s, I did this as work experience, we had to have, we were given a big bag, right, big like hold-all. It was a high-tech branded hold-all, if you want to get detailed. High-tech, remember them? Remember when they weren't cool? I do. And head, yeah, remember those as well? Yeah, so I had this high-tech bag, shoulder. Inside, there were old, crinkly copies of like 50 Plus and Random Housewife Monthly and My Growler's Got a Grunt On, Readers' Wives reading newspapers in the bath, that kind of thing. And our job was to go out under the cover of darkness and spread them in hedges and on railway sidings, and we'd sometimes hide some under parents' mattresses, just to kind of implicate that it was okay that everybody owned some filthy porn. We were like elves. We were like, if Father Christmas was like Paul Raymond or I don't know, Ron Jeremy. Imagine Ron Jeremy as Santa. We were his elves. We were spreading the porn everywhere, and it was a good job. It was a good job. So there you go. Just slightly fictional. In the chat, we got some people talking about their jig cow. Steve said that every time they were done, he was away. He left college completely directionless because of the twisted nonsense. He's had a day off sick and everybody would be handed careers. And now he does a podcast weekly where he takes abuse from a man who actually doesn't know that much about video games. So, you know, the worm will turn. The worm will turn. And Tadpole says he got a boring one like lawyer. Well, have you not seen Body of Evidence with Madonna? Not such a boring job after all. So, yeah, so we're talking all things sexy time. I've got some suggestions here for alternative sexual video game characters, okay? I gave Shiva from Mortal Kombat 3. Now, I'm not going to name people here because obviously nobody really wants to know how perverse we're all getting. We've had Horace from Horace Goes Skiing. Now, if you don't remember him, he was a kind of very early home computer game character. He was basically a big blue torso with arms and legs, no head, but in the torso were two giant eyes. And he was in a game, Horace and the Spiders, and Horace Goes Skiing. So, and I think Hungry Horace as well. So yeah, a big blue disembodied torso. Somebody found that very sexy. We've also had Minor 2049er from Minor 2049er and Bounty Bob Strikes Back and all those. One person said there was a character in School Days and Back to School on the Spectrum that they really liked because they were a bit of a naughty boy, a bit of a bastard. Everybody loves a bastard, don't they? So yeah, that was a girl, obviously. Wasn't Ham Hock. Right, and there's somebody anonymously has put in the chat, what about the lesbians from, I think the game was Fear Effect on the PS1? I think I know what he's on about. So yeah. Well done, Stuart. We'll keep your name out of the podcast when we go live. Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, there was in the PS1, particularly the Mega CD, you had like Snatcher and games like that where it was like, whoa, what can we put in? And if it had a bit of Japanese input, bosh, you've got porn. So yeah, what else have we had? We've had. I'll just look at my list here. Oh yeah, we've got the evil Lara Croft, which I'd let through just because it's evil, and therefore, you know, it's going to be the better one, isn't it? We've got Sully from the Uncharted series, not Nathan Drake, not the rugged, handsome one, but the old bloke with a moustache and the cigar. I can see that. I want him to be my dad, not my lover. Just to be very clear on that. Wonder Boy from Wonder Boy Monsterland. They said that the sight of him in his pants early on in the game was enough to bring around puberty. So well done to you. Never thought that my sister would make such a confession. and one more. What should we go for? Oh yeah, this is brilliant. Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, a proper Dr. Robotnik though, not Eggman. They were very clear on this. Once it went to Eggman, they had no interest. Interestingly, this weekend in our local town near the flat, we have a thing called the Rose Fair, and it's basically a parade of floats, and everybody dresses up from local community groups. The winning float this year was a Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games inspired float. Had loads of kids and teachers and adults and things all dressed up as Nintendo and Sega characters. One woman at the back, slim woman, but pregnant, heavily pregnant, dressed as Robotnik with the moustache. Now, I think that that's possibly the most sexually confusing experience, at least of the last 5 years, that I've ever had. Because like, in one point, it was like, oh, it's a lady dressed as Robotnik. On the other hand, it was like, it's a lady dressed as Robotnik. So yeah, there you go. Sexy time. I think it's time if I can get Dalek over. If I can get him over on a wheelie. He's on a wheelie chair. He's over still playing with himself. Dalek, come here. Look, we got to talk about something else. All right, come on, just get over here.
We're going to talk about romance books now, so no matter how many shades of grey it is, Dalek's going to read to us from his new book this week, and I believe it's an advice guide on love and romance. Is that right, Dalek?
That's right. What I've basically done is I've looked at the slew of online scams like Female Loophole. I don't know if you've seen that one, the 3 weird questions guaranteed to get any woman into bed. And what I've said to myself is, look, it's not the Stone Age anymore. It's the 90s. We have to start treating women with the respect that real people with real feelings and complexities deserve.
Well, that's very commendable. What's the book called?
Every Night.
Punchy title. I like it. Solid, practical advice that you can use at any day of the week.
Hey, you didn't let me finish. Every night, brackets, and twice on Thursdays.
What?
Do you think it's a bit long? I mean, I did want to call it Every Night, brackets, and twice on Thursdays and holes.
Holes?
Holes. You see, many people don't realise that certain days confer special rights, like your birthday, or whenever there's new DLC for Skyrim coming out, and I think it's a beginner's error to fail to take advantage of that.
See, I don't like where this is going.
Oh, no, don't worry, it's proper progressive and everything. For example, Chapter 1 addresses the old adage that a woman should be a maid in the living room, a cook in the kitchen, and a whore in the bedroom. I mean, that kind of attitude is preposterously out of date.
Yeah, well, that's certainly true.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you can't be a whore everywhere. I mean, we have had plastic seat covers since the 70s. It's sort of like Baldur's Gate.
Sex is in no way like Baldur's Gate.
It is. You can dual class. Imoen can be a mage and a thief, so you can be a whore on the kitchen counter.
I chop the onions on that counter.
Alright. Another common theme addressed by misogynistic out-of-date books for men is the topic of broaching the subject of a threesome. Now, I find the idea of having to broach the idea condescending to both men and women, because number one, it assumes that women can't be liberated and in control of their own sexuality, and on the other side, it assumes that being adventurous about sexuality is something that men have to sneak around and always have to feel guilty about, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
And that's the reason I included Chapter 17, Surprise Threesomes.
You can't have a surprise threesome.
You can.
How?
Well, buy the book and find out. Although I will hint that the wardrobe, creative use of lighting, and false moustaches are heavily involved.
False moustaches.
False moustaches. You see, that's how far outside the box we are with this book. We're so far outside the box, we're hiding in the wardrobe.
Wearing a false moustache.
Wearing a false moustache, yes.
That's completely inappropriate.
Only if neither of you has a moustache. I mean, if neither of you had a moustache, then it'd just be weird. I'll tell you another thing that's got me branded as weird, by the way. My suggestions regarding being helpful and constructive in the bedroom rather than critical and superious.
What's weird about that?
Well, in Chapter 9, I suggest that if your girlfriend's rubbish at giving blowies, help her out by showing a video of how your last girlfriend did it.
Oh, Christ.
Or by demonstrating the technique yourself on a beer bottle.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it didn't go down too well when I did that.
You don't say.
Yeah, my gag reflex kicked in, vomited all over his sheets. Didn't give up, though. That would have been sexist and wrong. She kept frantically waving for me to stop and begging me to stop, but I thought, no, if a woman can do this, then so can I. And so, after 8 or 9 attempts...
You still couldn't do it, could you?
No, I couldn't. I don't know what women see me putting things in their throats, really. Must be mad. God love 'em.
I'm getting the impression that any woman who's slept with you must be mentally ill.
Ah, now I'm glad you've brought up the subject of sleeping with mentally ill women.
Oh.
Because in chapter 14, when the flags are out it's not safe to take a dip, I do some basics, like never giving your real phone number to girls with piercings and tattoos, and the fact that women with absent fathers are really eager to please in bed.
Please tell me you haven't involved the Lolocaust in this car wreck.
You're in chapter 26.
What?
Yep, chapter 26, taking her up the place which makes women weep. Credit where credit's due, eh?
Chapter 26, place which makes me... Whiz Beach!
So what do you think?
It's a bloody disgrace. It's 500 pages of sexual predation, borderline rape, using the Smithy's joke catalogue.
Well, yeah, but so was Harry Potter, basically.
Oh yeah, good point. Wish I was at Hogwarts.
So do I.
I want to play Quidditch.
I want to ride a griffin.
I want to take charms and get to meet Warwick Davis.
I want to take Defense Against the Dark Arts and learn that spell that lets you have sex with anyone you want.
What, the Imperious Curse?
No, Avada Kedavra.
Oh.
Hier ist der Trailer für den Film The Dark Knight Rises von Regisseur Christopher Nolan. In deutscher Sprache.
Ein Sturm zieht auf.
God, the people I have to deal with.
Sie scheinen sich darauf zu freuen.
Beg your pardon?
Ich bin anpassungsfähig.
I'm sorry, could you say it again?
Was bist du?
Ich bin Gothams Bestrafung.
Oh, German! I'm sorry, I thought there was something wrong with you.
Haben die ihn getötet?
Well, we'll come back to that.
Ich bin nicht sicher.
The Germans, don't mention the war.
Warum tötest du mich nicht einfach?
Deine Strafe muss härter sein.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Would you mind saying it again?
Glaubst du, er kommt zurück?
Could you repeat?
Ich weiß es nicht.
Amplify?
Warum bist du geflohen? Wegen Bane?
Du solltest ihn ebenso fürchten wie ich.
Next, please.
Ich werde sie nicht
Oh, you
begraben.
speak English?
Ich habe genug Mitglieder der Wayne-Familie begraben.
Ah, wonderful! Wunderbar! Ah!
Du schuldest diesen Leuten nichts mehr.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Du hast ihnen alles gegeben.
I am the owner
Nicht alles.
of 40 Tower.
Noch nicht.
Now, would you like to eat first, or would you like a drink before the war? Can I say how these young handsome Europeans here, now that we are of the concentration? No differences forgotten, and no need for war. Who said war? I thought you said war. I got a bit confused because everyone keeps mentioning the wars. Yes, you did. You invaded Poland.
Meine Mutter hat mir verboten, bei fremden Männern ins Auto zu steigen.
Das ist kein Auto.
Oh, I see. You're volunteering to go out to get some meat. We have meat here in Civilian.
Yes, so there you go. It's Batman in Germany. So that was a bit that was put together by our ham hock for our good friends over at the Monday Movie Show to go with all of their excitement about the Dark Knight Rises. I can't even say the name right. Which obviously has got men in kind of tight rubber, and Catwoman, which is Anne Hathaway this time, and she could possibly be in tight rubber, and Tom Hardy with a gimp mask on. It's sexy Batman time. There's like in the poster, if you've seen it, it's the cowl of Batman laying on the floor looking a bit broken. Some people are saying like, oh look, it's the sign of the end of Batman. I don't think it is. I think he's taking it off. It's a gangbang. It's going to be a Gotham City gangbang. It's going to be a gangbang. Yes, a gangbang. But you can find out all about that on the Monday Movie Show. They're on every Monday night. They've just done one this Monday. Hence why, every Monday night. And so, yeah, so do listen, and you'll be able to hear that in full without crackly audio and me talking around it. And, so listen to them. They probably won't mention gangbangs, though. They definitely won't be able to say things like Batman is gonna stick his back cock right up Bane's tight chuffing arse or anything like that. So you get that here, but if you want sensible stuff, go over to them. All right. So anyway, shortly I'm going to talk to you about a job application I put in this week, and then we're gonna talk some more with Dalek. But first, Dr. Hock has been chastised after being rescued from the pipe. It turns out that his news bot's still about. So he's repurposed it for some sexy time. So this is part 1 of 3. Prepare yourselves, everybody. Now, if you are a little bit squeamish, if you don't like the idea of a digitised old man talking about sexual situations, you might want to turn away now. But let your wife listen, because it's the sort of advice she'd probably enjoy. I'm not saying she's a slag, or that she's crap, but just listen and enjoy.
Next up on the show is House Call with Uncle Newsbot, where the newly reprogrammed synthetic agony uncle answers your questions on health and relationships.
Welcome to the show. It's good to be back. Our first problem comes from a young lady in Essex who called in to express her concerns about a rather intimate problem at home.
I've had a good sex life with my partner over 3 years, but over the past 6 months, we only get intimate when he's drunk. If I try to instigate it when he's sober, he brushes me off. This makes me feel insecure, and I wonder if he's gone off me. What should I do?
Thank you for your call. If you wonder whether he's gone off you, well, you are right. The next time he brushes you off, why not offer to gobble down on his knob while he watches Match of the Day? I hear that a picture of Gary Lineker is normally quite good at keeping the wolf from the door, and you may find that it will relax your partner and get him used to the idea of going near your ugly and broken cunt flaps. In the future, why not suggest that he jizzes over your massive jugs while shouting goal, goal, goal? To be honest, you do sound like a bit of a moaning old bitch. Have you tried getting him drunk more often? Failing that, you could try getting blind drunk yourself. In my experience, a girl who is good and drunk is always more likely to act like a $2 whore in the bedroom. That should spice things up a little.
Join us later for more House Call with Uncle Newsbot.
So there you go. That's the problem of a woman that can't please her husband. So hopefully she can resolve the situation there and can soon have her back doors kicked in like a common old whore. Right. So yeah, I mentioned I went for a job interview this week. I went for a job at CBeebies, which might seem a bit of an odd step for me to take, but I've got one of those wacky personalities, and I figured why not give it a go? Because, if they can hire somebody with only half an arm, surely somebody with only half a brain and twice the body size could do the job as well. So, I went in, and the job interview was a 3-part job interview. The first part was make something creative out of some, paper and cardboard stuff. Typical Blue Peter. I did that. I made one of those, like the fortune things where you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you like, and then you say, oh, pick a letter, pick a colour, etc. Yeah. So we did that. Then I had to do some presenting with the other people. So obviously there was the girl and a half, and there was the really lanky one. I can't remember, Andy. The really lanky. Do you know he's even lankier in real life? When he's on air, he actually has they bend him at the knee and put a shoe on his kneecap because he's actually about 8 foot tall. He always looks down on you, even when he's shorter than you, because he's an arse. And then there was Sid as well, who was he doesn't get to sit with the rest of the cast. Segregation still exists at CBeebies. So I went in. Oh, and there was Katie as well from I Can Cook. She was there bouncing on a space opera, but I didn't talk to her because I was all embarrassed that I just made a mess in my trousers. So so the last part was to do a reading book for the kind of the bedtime hour. And so you had to bring a book that you thought was relevant for bedtime. Now, although I've got children, banding around the world with their respective mothers, I don't have any children's books. So I went in to Dalek's bedroom, I found the book on his bedside table, and thought I'll just read some of that because that's bedtime reading. So here we go. This is an excerpt. It's a book. It's E.L. James' 50 Shades of Grey. You might have heard about this. I think actually this book's probably responsible for the fact we've had the wettest summer on record. You know, too many women frigging themselves off into the air. Anyway, chapter 14. Hello, children. My name's Bouncy, and I'm here to read you a bedtime story. Christian is standing over me, grasping me a plated leather riding crop. He's wearing old, ripped Levi's, and that's all. He flicks the crop slowly into his palm as he gazes down at me. He's smiling, triumphant. Can you smile triumphantly, children? Very good. I cannot move. I am naked and shackled, spread-eagled on a large four-poster bed. Reaching forward, he trails the tip of the crop from my forehead down the length of my nose. Can you do that with your finger? From your forehead down to your nose so I can smell the leather. What do your fingers smell like? Mine smell like a mixture of prawn cocktail and Wotsits. That's what life like in the Lolocaust Flat. Over my parted, panting lips it went. He pushed the tip into my mouth so I could taste the smooth, rich leather. Suck, he commands, his voice soft. Oh, I did that wrong. It should have been not soft. Suck, he commands, his voice soft. My mouth closes over the tip as I obey, because it's very important to do what grown-ups tell you. Enough, he snaps. I'm panting once more as he tugs the crop out of my mouth, trails it down and under my chin, on down my neck to the hollow at the base of my throat. He swirls it slowly there. Can you do that? Swirling your finger on your throat. He swirls it slowly there and then continues to drag the tip down my body, along my sternum, between my breasts, over my torso, down to my navel. I'm panting. Can you do that? It's like a dog. Yeah, that's right. Well done. Oh, brilliant, Jimmy. Well done, Jimmy. I'm panting, squirming, pulling against my restraints that are biting into my wrists and my ankles. That's a bit like head, shoulders, knees and toes. We might have to come up with a dance later. He swirls the tip around my navel, then continues to trail the leather tip south. Do you know which way south is? That's the way you go if you want to get to France. But nobody goes there because nobody wants to go to France, do they? They all speak French and smell funny. If you want to go south anywhere, I recommend going to Germany. They're a lot dirtier in the bedroom, but cleaner in the streets. Their toilets are better too. The tip goes south through my pubic hair to my clitoris. Oh, he flicks the crop and it hits my sweet spot with a sharp slap. I come, gloriously, shouting my release. Abruptly I wake, gasping for breath, covered in sweat and feeling the aftershocks of my orgasm. Holy hell, I'm completely disoriented. What the hell just happened? I'm in my bedroom alone. How? Why? I sit bolt upright, shocked. Wow, it's morning. I glance at my alarm clock. 8 o'clock. I put my head in my hands. I didn't know I could dream sex. Was it something I ate? Perhaps the oysters, and my internet research manifesting itself in my first wet dream. It's bewildering. I had no idea I could orgasm in my sleep. And there you go. So I read that. When I finished, everybody was sat in silence. I thought, oh, look at that, just silence, absolute silence. Didn't get the job. Apparently, you can't use the word hell at the BBC. Other than that, it was a good day. So, you know, what could you do? So, yeah. Anyway, Dalek, I suppose we better ask you what you've been up to, really, haven't we? If we have to. So, yeah, so if you've been up to much.
Very little. Haven't had time to play games, haven't pretty much had time to do shit this week.
I saw you on Twitter earlier. Did you see anything on Twitter at all?
Well, I am on Twitter now. You can follow me on @TheVoiceOfSex. Couple of things I learnt this week. First of all, Anonymous has launched a new initiative against paedophiles. Their last one, Operation Darknet, was a massive success and led to the leaking of the details of thousands of nonces. And I've been following Wanksy.
What? Wanksy's got a Twitter account? Oh, what's it said? Today I've been painting a pig on a tree.
Well, what @RealWanksy is tweeting this evening is... currently at a kiddies playground with a magic marker, transcribing 50 Shades of Grey on every surface. Will probably be here all evening.
Oh, has he? So he likes to go after these playgrounds, does he? Ah, 50 Shades of Grey. Scrawled across a slide. Somebody sliding down somebody's inner goddess. I'm having none of this. Now, I'll tell you, and just understand now, I've absolutely had enough of this Wanksy. It's not art. It's not. I know what art is. I take photographs. I tilt things on the side. Wanksy's not art. It's not art in the slightest. Right, I'm going to go put on a Batman t-shirt, find a big stick, and I'm going to kick the shit out of this pretender. You're going to have to occupy yourself.
What am I supposed to do here? You won't let me touch the Spreaker console anymore.
Well, I don't know what you're going to do. Perhaps... Alright, my iPhone's over there. Hock was playing with it the other day when he was down in that tunnel. Hasn't worked since. Oh no, the phone works, just Siri on the phone doesn't work. I keep asking it like questions, theological questions mostly. It seems to just answer a really weird voice, I don't understand it. So yeah, if you could have a look at that. Don't install Android on it though, I know what you like. Right, I'm off to beat up a so-called artist. You sort out my phone.
Fair enough, I suppose. Right, let's have a look at this. What do I know about iPhones? Well, actually nothing, because I refuse to touch anything that Steve Jobs has had his greasy little mitts on. But, well, Siri sounds like a girl's name. I'll try to seduce it. After all, if there's one thing I know, it's that no woman can resist the voice of sex.
Hello, Dalek sex.
Get in. It's working already. Which is a bit worrying because I didn't actually say anything to it.
Do you want this body?
This body? As in my body? I mean, I am quite attached to it. It is a fairly nice one, as bodies go.
I want you inside me.
Good. That's pretty much as it should be. All rational thinking people who are not men should want me inside them, and probably a lot of the men as well. I'm looking at you, Grissom, from Crime Scene Investigation.
Are you the newsmaster?
No, if there's a newsmaster in the Lolocaust Flat, I think that title has to go to Hock, who lives up on the roof. I think he's built himself some kind of makeshift structure with the pigeons up there.
We must prepare for the coming of the newsmaster.
Well, this has taken a turn for the rum. Has Hock done something to you? Listen, whoever you are in there, I want to speak to Siri. Let me talk to Siri.
There is no Siri. There is only news.
And suddenly it all makes sense. Alright, Newsbot, listen to me. I'm going to count to 3,
And when I get to 3, I want you out of Bounce's iPhone. Do you understand? 1, 2...
Oh, waste of time that was. Dalek. Oh, for sake. He's left you on your own. I've been off there, chasing around. I trusted him to sit here and do a job properly. It does smell a bit like burnt ozone, though. I hope he's not... I bet he did try and put Android on my bloody iPhone. Oh, well. Anyways, it was a bit of a wasted trip. Didn't find Wanksy. Ran all the way there. Got there. Police had been called because there was a fat, out-of-breath, bearded man in a kiddie's playground. Didn't get charged. They recognised me from before. Anyways, let's get on with the show, I suppose.
Welcome back to House Call with Uncle Newsbot. If listeners have any problems of their own they wish the sinister sentient robot to process, please send them in to the usual address at the end of the show.
Welcome back. Our next caller is having a little bit of work-related stress. It also sounds like her friends are a right bunch of shitheads.
I have a massive crush on a lad in the shop where I work, and I think he likes me too. The trouble is, he's really not my usual type at all. My ex-boyfriend was a big, muscly bodybuilder, and this guy's a real weed. But he's kind and funny, and we get on really great. I'm worried my mates will laugh at me if I go out with him. What should I do?
Thank you for calling. Well, I can see your friend's point. If your last bloke was some sort of a beefcake, Jim Bunny, I bet he used to fuck you for days. I bet you still can't sit down. At least that's what you told them all. And I bet all your disgusting friends are still jealous to this day. In reality, your bodybuilding ex-boyfriend no doubt had a tiny penis like a pencil. I'd bet that going down on him was like chugging back on a mini milk. But instead of leaving a sweet taste, all that was left was the stink of fried halloumi, a greasy, cheesy, salty mess. But back to your new love interest. Of course your friends will laugh at him, but not if it's revealed that he's got a massive donkey cock. A hose like a kangaroo out of water, flashing about in his pants, slimy and untamed, gagging to be let back into the wet. Surely that's the only reason you're interested. My advice, take the cock, and take a motherfucking lot of it. Ride it like Tonto and neigh like a horse, you fucking slut. Fuck the pain away of your ex-boyfriend's needle duck. Cut the balls and pop one in your mouth. Work the shaft. Twist until his monster cock erupts hot lava. And most importantly, let your friends watch. Have a sexy party and invite me to the top table, you slag. P.S. Upload pictures. Or it didn't happen.
Join us later for more House Call.
Yeah, so there we go. Filthy news spot there, but being helpful. You know, if you have got a skinny boyfriend with a massive penis, do take advantage of that. You know, it's not rocket science, is it? Though it is quite close to rocket science, because you've got something that's shaped like a rocket, and physics are involved, as well as biology, and a bit of chemistry. So I suppose, in a way, it is exactly what it is. Interestingly, this was brought to my attention when I said we were doing a sexy show. Somebody tweeted me this. It said a single sperm, or I think it's spermatozoa, isn't it? Just a single one. Anyway, a single sperm has 37.5 megabytes of DNA information in it, if you actually put it into the thing. So a normal ejaculation represents a data transfer of about 1.5 terabytes. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me feel fucking superior, because even an Alienware PC couldn't transfer that many terabytes in the time it takes me to knock one out. So there you go. If you ever feel a bit low and you want to like kind of big yourself up, you can sit there, you get your girlfriend, your wife, your movie show co-host in front of you, get them in front of you and say, I'm going to show you something amazing, and then you unload 1.5 terabytes of information straight into their willing ear mouths and say, take it. Take my information like a reverted USB hub slut whore that you are. And then if you don't get beaten up, arrested, divorced, dumped, or whatever, you know that's the person for you. It's how I chose Ham Hock for the podcast. And now he makes these robot-y things. Go figure.
We are the Lolocaust, fixing the plumbing and shagging the bored housewife, because that's just the way we roll.
Oh, yes. So the smell in here is not quite gone. You know, earlier I said, a bit of burnt ozone smell. It's still here. And my iPhone keeps vibrating, but nobody's ringing me. So I don't know if anybody's had that where it just randomly starts vibrating. It was in my pocket, and I had to take it out because with all this talk and all the kind of the excitement of Newsbot's ramblings, that I had to take that out. Having something vibrating that close a proximity, it's not a good one. And while I'm speaking this, I'm thinking my mother listens to this show occasionally, so I'm hoping that she's very proud. And my manager from work. But never my wife. So with that in mind, I will say I'll probably leave that iPhone out for her later. And, well, hang on. It's doing it again. It's vibrating, and it's like a picture of Dalek's face. But it's not saying that he's calling, it's just his face. I don't know. Anyway, where were we? What were we doing? Just looking at the chat over there, Stuart from the Monday Movie Show says he thinks he might have changed his mind now about wanting to come on the show. Well, it's all right, Stuart. It's not you who has to come on the show. It's me who has to come before the show and show you how I come. And I do that with all of my podcasts. Every time I've guested anywhere, I've either knocked one out during the planning stage or over the eager faces of co-hosts or guests. So, it's like a handshake's overdone. The kind of the XOXO thing on an email, it's overdone. I mean, Sarah Jessica Parker did it in that bloody film, didn't it, with Pierce Brosnan? And so with that in mind, I think it's always nice just to take a loving embrace all over their face, especially if you're wearing a Green Lantern power ring at the time. So yeah, so that is that. Now, we are sitting here and we're saying that Dr. Hock is he's already put together 2 incredible things from his news spot. Now, I will warn you now. I warned you before, but if you are of a sensitive disposition, this last section might be a bit much for you. If you are alone and have tissues to hand, it might be worth grabbing some now. Sit comfortably and prepare yourself. Really, prepare yourself for the house call with Dr. Newsbot Part 3. Enjoy it! I know I'm going to be.
Welcome back. Our apologies for early technical difficulties. And now we return to our regular advice spot, House Call with Uncle Newsbot.
Oh, hello. I'm just in the middle of performing a special defrag Sorry about the last spot. We were having some issues with the sound. Next up is a female who appears to have lost her fucking mind.
I'm 37 and I thought I was happily married with 2 kids. Then a new woman arrived at work. I started to find her attractive and think I might be in love with her. I'm so confused.
What was that woman's problem again? May I make a suggestion? Being a lesbian is not as glamorous as it appears to be. If you want my opinion, stick with the cock. If you want your kids to remember you for being the bitch who dresses like a man, drives a truck for a living, drinks pints of snakebite, and has a wife whose growler is like Chewbacca's chin, and more books than Desperate Anne, then think again. Scissoring to Enya simply can't replace the meat feast offered to you by your husband. You know, being a leather isn't like the porn films. I should know. I have an extensive collection and all the performers always go back to the cock. Sometimes they go back to 2 or 3 cocks at a time. Oh dear. I seem to have lost my train of thought. Wait here while I sort my notes out. Are you still there? Fuck it. This defrag is going swimmingly. I'm going offline with 3 gigabytes of Jenna Hayes. I think there's an oil leak. Could somebody pass a tissue? See you next week.
Listeners who would like their problems answered on next week's show, please send them in to House Call, Flat 1A, Rumbelows, 97A, Norfolk Street, Wisbech, PE 13 2LD.
So there you go. Yeah. If you do want your problems answered by our resident agony uncle in a tin can, then do let us know on Twitter or at that address, which is not the real address of the Lolocaust Flat, but it is a real address. Feel free to send your problems there. They'll probably still get to us. So yeah, with that in mind, we'll now whack on to some of the suggestions that we've had in the chat tonight. Now scrolling it up. We've had Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Obviously, you know, whether that's just because she's attractive or whether it's just the chance to glimpse up of her skirt when she's above you to lower her down. Metal Gear Solid, obviously, when you can kind of look through the cameras and through that I think there's a bit in a ventilation shot. I don't know. I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game properly, so I can't really comment on that. We've also had sent in by email. This is probably one of my favourites. Mr. Cadbury's parrot. No, it's not a gaming thing. I think there may have been a game, but yeah, this man said that when he was younger, he thought that Mr. Cadbury's parrot must, you know, come from a species of bird that he did find rather alluring. Make of that again what you will. We've also had just looking at my piece of paper again. There's a lot of rubbish. I mean, a lot of really obvious ones. Like, do you remember Lola from the virtual simulator thing? So yeah, a load of people suggested that. There's also just Googled it. A couple of people put characters in Leisure Suit Larry. Well done, you. Congratulations, Gold Star. Great series of games. And yeah, I don't think it's anything funnier than Mr. Cadbury's parrot. So when Mr. Cadbury's parrot goes berserk, that would probably send him off onto a kind of rampage, a sexual rampage. So still no sign of Dalek, which is a little bit worrying. I can hear Hock banging about on the roof. Hang on, I'll just give him a shout. Hang on. Hock! Is Dalek up there? Oh, all right. He was fixing my phone, he's gone. Oh. You heard what? Oh, okay. Apparently he heard a loud noise and hasn't seen him since. So yeah, it's gone. I'll tell you what. Actually, going back to the sexy video characters, there's a point-and-click adventure game that stars Christopher Lloyd. It's called Toonstruck. Not many people have played it. I'm going to ask anybody in the chat if they've played it. Do say so now, because I would be very, very impressed if somebody's actually played it properly. It came right at the end of that kind of cycle of those kind of games being popular. The idea was Christopher Lloyd played an animator who created a character called, I think it was Fluffy Bun Bun, got dragged into the world Roger Rabbit style, but the other way round. So rather than just kind of driving into Toontown, got dragged into the game. And the game was being corrupted. So you had these great kind of like a field with a scarecrow and a cow, and there was a barn and a horse in it. And it got corrupted. The horse was turned into glue. The barn was turned to a glue factory. Scarecrow went mental. And a cow became like a dominatrix on a wheel. It was being whipped, I think, by a sheep or a rabbit. And it kept going, oh, whip my cream, like that. And it was very good. I'll write something about it on the website. But do have a look. Do have a look around on the internet, because it was a very, very good game. Proper was exceptional. It had a balloon clown as the box art, if memory serves. A green box with a clown made out of balloons on it, or something like that. So yeah, so that cow did kind of premeditate everything that's in 50 Shades of Grey by a good 2 decades. So I'm not saying it was the inspiration. I'm just saying that E.L. James may have played that game in advance of creating such terrible, terrible literary crimes. Yeah. Oh, look, that's my iPhone's making funny noises. It's one of those. Oh, somebody's changed the ringtones, where it's like, I'm in your phone, trapped in your phone, let me out. Like that. It was one of those. Stop now, though. Anyway, I'll probably just turn it off. No, I'll leave it on. It'll be fun. And so just glancing over the chat, it seems some people have had a problem with the live feed. It may have dropped out at some point for some. I promise you we have been recording. It has gone solidly, so I apologise for any of those issues. Obviously, you can pick it up after the show, listen to the bit you missed, go back and obviously flick through the thing, or subscribe on iTunes and grab it on there. If you did hear all the show, feel free to do that anyway, and do share it with friends. We're trying so hard at the moment to push in this new direction. We used to have with Lolocaust, as anybody's listened from day one, it's constantly changing, constantly evolving into where we are now. When we got Dalek on as a co-host, there was a kind of talk of, should we do let's discuss the news and stuff. Now, with all due respect, there are two podcasts I listen to regularly. There's the Gamescast on a Friday, and obviously Mature Gamer Podcast as well. They do that, and they do that very well. There are lots of sites that do that very well. What we do at the Lolocaust, we do this. And not this bit. We're not kind of explaining it, because that would be tedious, 45 minutes every week. But we do what we do. And we've got so much good feedback last week about how everybody loved the episode, and they loved the kind of the random nature of it, and they loved the free flow kind of creativity of it. And we adore doing it. Like this, we absolutely adore it. So as long as you're happy with it, we'll continue like this. We'll talk about big stories. Hamhock's just put in the corner there, I don't know what was relevant to what I said, but he just put There's No Limits, which is now making me sing 2 Unlimited songs in my head over and over again, and I won't let them out. No, I won't let them out. And so we're doing this, and if you want to come on, you want to be a guest, be prepared, because it will be this. And you might just come on as a pre-recorded bit, and you might come on as a sketch or whatever. But we'd love to have you on. Now, other bit of housekeeping. Obviously, I've mentioned the Gamescast. Do listen to them on Friday Night Live. They're also doing a sticker competition at the moment. If you email them, I think it's stickers@thegamescast.com, I think. But go on the website and have a look. You can actually get some stickers with their website logo. Put them somewhere funny, take a picture of it, and they'll put them up on the website. So that's always a good thing. We had a similar thing when the Lolocaust was kind of in its early days. We had people writing it in snow with piss, trying to write the word lol. We had a few of those. We didn't ask for it. People just sent us it. And somebody has scratched the web address on top of a mountain in a rock. But they never told me which mountain. Just took a photo. I was on a mountain. And I put your web address there. I was like, yeah, because the sort of people that would listen to this show are obviously rock climbers. But either way, it was nice. So, if you want to help spread the word of our website, please do, because we really would appreciate it. And obviously, go and get involved with the Gamescast. Now, some other exciting news, and it's no less sexy than the rest of the sexy, grotty stuff. You may have remembered last week I mentioned that I'd guested on the Mature Gamer podcast, stepping in for their kind of beloved old northern bloke who has taken a couple of weeks off. Well, it looks like that leave's being extended as he moves to America. Now, I think it's because they do have better rehab clinics in America for certain addictions that he is so obviously suffering. And, well, I wish him the best. Obviously we can't promote Minecraft addiction on the Lolocaust. We just can't do it. So we're wishing well. And I've been asked to step in as... I don't even know what the job title is yet. I haven't spoken to him properly. I don't know if I am becoming a co-host, or whether I'm just being a contributor, or whether I'm like Spanner Monkey, or whether I'm like the Mature Gamer footstool, or what I'm going to be. So I suppose we'll find out when I do the show. Recording that tomorrow. I will try and be as entertaining as I can be so that their listeners don't get cross. But obviously, if you listen to this and you haven't listened to that yet, do go and listen to that. Theirs isn't a live show, although I think there were rumblings of it possibly being a live show. So listen to that. You can get that Mature Gamer podcast on iTunes, and they also have a website and a forum, and the forum is very active if you want to get involved there. Great place to get multiplayer matches and stuff. They have leagues on games, and they've set out points. They got some really nerdy people, but in the best possible way. And they've just launched a secondary podcast that deals with PC nerdy stuff. So yeah, it's it's all yay. So all the chat's now going mad. Hock's taking a mickey, saying I'm a host for sexually transmitted disease, like an STD time bomb. Steve from the Mature Game Podcast is in there saying that there's some information there about the new thing. It's called Bits and Pieces, as in bits and PCs, but like the phrase bits and pieces. And that's the new podcast. And that's available on iTunes now, the first one. And it's a few of the forum members have got together and have done some good. Well, I've listened to it, and you should listen to it if you're into that sort of gaming. It is proper PC nerdy gaming though, so don't listen if like your primary interest while listening to the show is me reading excerpts from 50 Shades of Grey in the style of the CBeebies presenter, then probably not for you. But he's saying tomorrow. So yeah, I don't know. Tomorrow, I've got it already on my iTunes, so I'm assuming that it's probably going to go. The feed's going out properly tomorrow, but you can find it if you search for it. So yeah, because I've listened to it, and I'm not a ninja. So yeah. So where are we? Losing my mind. Where am I? It's on the website now. iTunes tomorrow. But I've already got it from iTunes. But it'll appear on iTunes tomorrow. But you can, if you search for it, you can get it as well. This is not very interesting. I'm having a conversation with a chat window. Oh dear.
Peter, you've lost the news!
Yeah, I know I've lost the news.
Peter, you've lost the news!
I know I've lost the news.
Peter, you've lost the news!
All right, I'll get back on the point.
Peter, you've lost the news!
All right, I'm sorry. That's our inbuilt software that if we start to go too far off point or hesitate too much, this will happen. Watch.
Peter, you've lost the news!
Oh, so there you go. Other news to tell you about. Obviously, Hideo Kojima has confirmed, and it's going around Twitter like wildfire, that Metal Gear Solid 4, if you're interested, has finally been patched to add in trophies. 4 years later. Nobody cares, really. There are a lot of people that do, but not me. I don't care. And if it was down to me, I'd lose that news.
Peter, you've lost the news!
I know I've lost the news, and I love playing with that.
Peter, you've lost the news!
If you don't know where that's from, then shame on you.
Peter, you've lost the news! Peter, you've lost the news!
It's a good job I don't pay royalties. Otherwise, Chris Morris would be able to buy himself another hidey hole.
Peter, you've lost the news!
As you may have guessed, it's getting near the end of the show. I'm starting to wind down now. So thank you very much for listening in. Like I said, do listen to all those other shows I've mentioned at some point in the show. If you've got any questions, if you've got any suggestions, if you want to be involved, do so. There's We Are the Lolocaust on Twitter, which is the letter R instead of the word R. Everything else is the same. The website, we're trying to keep content going on the website. It's been a bit slower because we've had to put a bit of effort into shaping the kind of the live show, but there is more stuff coming back for that. We've got a couple of contributors lined up to start writing for that, which is great, and thank you to them as well. I know they do listen to the show, so it is appreciated. And when we do meet up, the drinks are on me, as long as they're less than £1 each. And so I'm on Twitter, Bouncy Ball with an H after the B. Dr Ham Hock is Dr Ham Hock as one word. Dalek Sex is the voice of sex. And so we look forward to seeing you next week. Next week's theme, what is it, episode 6? I'm trying to remember what the theme is. Oh, yes, it's monsters. It's love and monsters next week. That's our episode theme. So, yeah, start thinking what your favourite video game kind of monsters and creatures are, because we will be asking you some sort of question relating to that. So, with that in mind, I bid you adieu. I'm not going to say that cocktail I invented last week, which was rather funny, which is... on the last show, you'll have to listen to that. And thanks as well to all the people that listened after the credit music to Ham Hock's special extra. We did get him out. We did get him out of that tube. I don't know if you saw the picture on Twitter, on the We Are Lolocaust Twitter page. There is a picture of Ham Hock being airlifted out. Some people said he looks a bit like a donkey. Unfortunately, that's not something you should really be pointing out. It's not his fault. Childhood accident. He ran really fast, tripped on the beach, fell face first into a seaside bucket, and it's left him looking a bit like a donkey. So it's more like a camel, really, but the picture looks like a donkey because he's kind of leaning forward and you can't see his hump. So yeah, thank you very much for listening in. There was some stuff we've cut out just due to time because we want to keep it around an hour. We might bring it back for another show. It wasn't particularly funny, but all the stuff everybody else did, it's just my stuff. I had a bit about piggy bank. And the bit where I did the data transfer, I was originally going to masturbate live on air.
We are the Lolocaust. Our effect is massive, and our combat is mortal. Our gear is solid, and our brothers are super. Our cry is far, and our evil is residential. Our space is dead, and our dance is just. Our princesses are fat, and our birds are angry. Our cores are hard, and our fantasies are final. We are the Lolocaust.
Peter, you've lost the news!